Imagine having a vacation home that pays for itself, or better yet, a second property that brings in extra income every month. Today, I'm going to show you how to make that dream a reality without selling your current home. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to buy your second home while keeping your first one. This could be your first step towards financial freedom. You don't want to miss this. You've probably seen those people who seem to always be on vacation, right? Ever wonder how they do it? The answer might surprise you, and it's not just about having deep pockets. Let's talk about why a second home could be your ticket to more freedom and more cash in your pocket. Let me tell you, the game has changed when it comes to renting out properties. With online platforms like Airbnb and VRBO, it's easier than ever to turn your second home into a money-making machine. You don't need to be a real estate pro or have a ton of time on your hands. These platforms do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Owning multiple properties is a way to build wealth over time. Think of it like planting a money tree that grows while you sleep. Your property value could go up, and meanwhile, you're collecting rent. It's like having a second job, but without all the extra hours at the office. Now, I know what you're thinking, sounds great, but can I really afford a second home? Well, here's something that might blow your mind. In some cases, your second home could actually pay for itself. Yeah, you heard that right. The rental income from your property could potentially cover your mortgage payments and other expenses. But wait, there's more. I know, I sound like a late night infomercial, but stick with me here. Renting out a second home can also give you some sweet tax benefits. Now, I'm not a tax expert, so you'll want to chat with a professional about those specifics, but it's definitely something to keep in mind when you're crunching the numbers. So let's recap. A second home isn't just a luxury anymore, it's a potential gold mine that could help you build wealth, create passive income, and maybe even pay for itself. Plus, you get a cool place to crash whenever you need a break from the daily grind. Not too shabby, right? Now that you're excited to buy a second home, let's talk about the numbers. Did you know there's a magic number that can make or break your dream? It's not your bank balance or credit score. This surprising figure determines if lenders see you as a safe bet or a risky gamble. Now, let me tell you, it's all about your debt to income ratio. Lenders want to see this number at 36% or lower for a second home. That means your monthly debts, including both mortgages, shouldn't be more than 36% of your monthly income. It's like a financial health check that shows you can handle the extra costs of a second home. But here's the thing, buying a second home isn't exactly the same as buying your first. The rules are a bit tougher. Why? Well, lenders see second homes as more risky. If times get tough, people are more likely to stop paying for their vacation home than they are their main home. So, what do you need to make this happen? First up, your credit score. For a second home, you're looking at needing at least 620, but 700 or higher is even better. It's like your financial report card, and lenders want to see good grades. Next, let's talk about payments. Remember when you bought your first home, you might have put down as little as 3%. For a second home, you're looking at a minimum of 10. That's a chunk of change, but it shows lenders you're serious and have some skin in the game. Now, I know what you're thinking. How am I supposed to come up with all this money? Don't worry. I've got some tricks up my sleeve. One option is using the equity in your first home. It's like having a secret stash of cash hidden in your house. You can tap into this equity with a home equity loan or a home equity line of credit. Or if you want to go big, you could do a cash out refinance on your first home. This lets you borrow up to 80% of your home's value and use the extra cash for your down payment on the second home. Here's a pro tip. If you can swing it, put more than the 10% down. A bigger down payment can help you score a lower interest rate, which could save you thousands of dollars over time. It's like getting a discount on your mortgage. But remember, buying a second home isn't just about the mortgage. You've got to think about all the other costs too, like property taxes, insurance, and of course, maintenance. Make sure you got enough wiggle room in your budget to cover these extra costs. So you've got your finances in order and you're ready to take the plunge into second home ownership. But hold up, did you know there's a step in the buying process that most people overlook? It's not complicated, but it could make or break your investment. Let's walk through the steps to buy your second home, and I'll show you this game-changing tip along the way. First things first, you need to get pre-approved for a mortgage. This isn't just a good idea, it's a must. Pre-approval tells you how much you can borrow and shows sellers you're serious. It's like having a golden ticket in the world of real estate. Next up, Find a real estate agent who knows their stuff when it comes to second homes. Trust me, this is not the time to go with your cousin's friend who just got their license. You want someone who understands the unique challenges of buying a second home. They can help you navigate things like a different loan requirement and property restrictions. Now, here's that crucial step I mentioned earlier, the one that could save you thousands. If you're planning to rent out your second home, you need to thoroughly research the local rental market. I'm talking about potential rental income, occupancy rates, and seasonal trends. This step is often forgotten, but it's key to making sure your investment pays off. Once you found your dream second home, it's time for the closing process. This might feel familiar from your first home purchase, but there are some key differences. You'll need to schedule a home inspection, just like before. But here's where it gets interesting. The appraisal process might be more strict for a second home. Lenders want to make sure the property is worth what you're paying for it. Don't forget about insurance. You might need different coverage for a second home, especially if you're planning to rent it out. And if your new place is on the coastal area or somewhere prone to natural disasters, you might need additional policies. It's better to know this up front than be caught off guard later on. Remember, buying a second home comes with some extra costs. You're looking at property taxes, possibly higher interest rates, and don't forget about maintenance. If you're not going to be there all the time, you might need to even hire someone to keep an eye on the place. All right, let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground today, from understanding why a second home can be a smart move to getting finances in order and navigating the buying process. The big takeaway, you can totally buy a second home without selling your first. But remember, owning multiple properties is not just about having a cool vacation spot. It's a way to build wealth over time and create passive income. Think of it like planting a money tree that grows while you sleep. So what's next? Take a good look at your finances and set some clear goals for your property investments. Maybe start by figuring out how much you can afford and where you'd like to buy. Every real estate mogul started with just one property. Your journey to financial freedom through real estate begins with that second home. Why not start planning for it today?